Alrighty, so section 4 of the prologue of the Finding of the Ring. Now, basically this section recounts how Bilbo went on an adventure with the dwarves to reclaim the Lonely Mountain, and how he became lost in the orc mines, as he says, or goblin tunnels. So here, orc and goblin is used interchangeably, and you see that a lot in Lord of the Rings. Now, when you read The Hobbit, it makes it sound like they're two different types of these creatures, but they're one and the same thing. It seems here, but I always take it still to be two separate, and I know that's what Peter Jackson does in his Hobbit films. And of course, we know that Bilbo finds the ring, and he meets Gollum, and he escapes from Gollum. And Tolkien says this is not the story that Bilbo wrote down in his book and told the dwarves and told Gandalf. He told them that, oh no, if I won the riddle game, Gollum was just going to give this ring to me. And so he led me out. And this was the original draft of Chapter 5 of The Hobbit. And when Tolkien was writing Lord of the Rings, he realized, he changed it, so the two don't really go together, and so he came up with this to kind of fix that. And Frodo and Sam later did not want to change anything Bilbo wrote, so they left it, but they did write what actually happened. And Gandalf, of course, it says he just believed, and he was very curious about the ring, especially with Gollum calling it his birthday present. And he did. I mean, Bilbo didn't invent any of that. And it, of course, would be very weird, because the rings of power, you don't just throw them away or give them away. It just doesn't work that way. So the story of Gollum tells about his grandmother giving it to him. It just doesn't gel. And so, of course, all of this makes Gandalf very suspicious about the ring. And so he eventually gets the true story out of Bilbo. And so, this section, like I said, just recaps all of that, or some of this is new information we don't get in The Hobbit, what we do here now. But anyway, that is the prologue. At the end, Tolkien adds, "Note on the Shire records." And it's he says that there was a book kept by the wardens of the West March, the Fairbairns. These are hobbits who are descendants of Sam. And this red book that they kept is, of course, Bilbo's book that has The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings in it. Tolkien says that the original red book has not been preserved; it's lost. But what there is a copy of it, originally made by Pippin for Aragorn when he is king, and then a copy is later made of that by Findegil, the king's writer, as it says, together with this, you have Bilbo's translations from the Elvish, which is 3 volumes. And this is, of course, what would become the Silmarillion. Now, as you remember from the Book of Lost Tales, Eowyn is the recorder of the Silmarillion, not Bilbo. Well, Tolkien never really abandoned that idea, so basically both could be true. That stuff from the Silmarillion, Tolkien used from materials that Bilbo had written and Eowyn had written. Which, of course, the Eowyn stuff is not mentioned here on this Note on the Shire records. And so the prologue here basically ends talking about how Celeborn, when he eventually leaves and goes overseas to follow Galadriel, the last living memory of the Elder Days goes with him. and so it is. And there you go. There's the introduction here to the Lord of the Rings. So in the next video, we will be starting in Chapter 1 and go from there. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back, like I said, with the next one. So I'll see you then.